parents, today I'm going to explain how to set up Leapfrog Putting, which is the game that we're going to be playing this week in your virtual live classes. So if you have, what you're going to need for this game is some golf balls. Some golf balls or any type of ball that you have. It can be tennis balls, it could be ping pong balls, anything that they can hit through the area. And then the kids are going to need their putter if they have one. If they don't have one, you can find anything that they can hit with. We happen to have a poster container. You can use a mop or Swiffer, or if you have a baseball bat for a child who plays baseball, or a hockey stick or a tennis racket, any of those are going to work for this game. So to set the game up, I have tape. You don't have to use tape, you could use string. They don't have to have lines, it's a good visual for them, but if you just need to mark it off with something else because you don't have anything like this, then we'll show you how to do that as well. So your first line of tape is going to be about a foot in front of the area that you're starting. You don't need cones, we put cones down to show where your kids are going to start from. You're going to have 6 total lines. And the object of the game is to get the golf ball in between each of the areas and practice their speed control. So the wider you make the lines, the easier it's going to be. So for the 7 to 9-year-old group, I recommend about 2 feet. For the 10 to 12-year-old group, about 1.5 feet. And for the teenage group, about 1 foot. Now you know your kids better and how long they've been playing golf. So the more advanced they are, the more narrow you can make it, down to a few inches if you want to make it really hard. Or you can make it wider if they're just beginners. Those are just guidelines. So we're going to set our tape down. So if you do not have tape or string, something that you can do is put any objects you have down, like books, or we have these card games, and put them down at the areas, marking them off. And then as long as your kid hits in between those areas, you can make the rule if it's past the front of the object or the back, then they gain that space. All right, now that we have our tape down, the game that we're going to be playing is called Leapfrog. This will be a putting game, so we'll go over this with the kids, but we do want to stress that this is a small swing, so they shouldn't really be taking it back any farther than their foot. So we like to say toe to toe. You don't want them taking any full swings in your home because that could be dangerous. So some other safety things, as you notice, I'm hitting away. There's no windows over there. The windows are behind me, so I'm hitting away from the windows. That's something you're going to want to keep in mind. Although we tell them toe to toe and you might be watching them, sometimes kids do what they want. So I recommend having them hit away from windows. And then also make sure that before they hit, every time they look around and they see there's no other siblings around, there's no parents around, and there's no pets around. Because that's the last thing we want is a pet getting hit during our game. So for this game, the rules are going to be a little different depending on the age group, and we're going to go over it in class. But essentially, they're going to want to hit in between the different spaces at different times. Now, if you're using some improvised golf equipment, that could look something like this. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at my email, and we look forward to seeing you this week.